Hello everybody. Welcome to the channel if you are new, and welcome back if you are already a subscriber. In today's video, we are going to be talking about my 2024 July setup. So I'm going to scooch a lot of this out of the way. It's a lot more on my desk than I normally have for a setup video, but I really wanted to have some product out to show you guys that I used while I still kind of had it on my desk. So first and foremost, super sorry that this video is like a day late. The day just got away from me yesterday, and even though the setups were complete, I was unable to film. Just the day was not kind to me in that regard. Okay, so we're gonna just move things about off kilter a little bit. Okay, so I didn't mean to move my mat either. Okay, so the first planner that I want to start with is my Hobonichi Weeks, which is kind of my health, fitness, well-being. I've tracked moods, I've tracked intimacy, I've tracked my cycle, I've tracked all that good stuff in here from, oh, that was not reassuring. That was a craft lunch, sorry. That was all the stuff that we just set off to the side on a very unsteady surface, clearly. But I've tracked a little bit of everything in here. I've done better some months than others, and really I have struggled the last few months a little bit just with some personal stuff going on that I've just not been really great at tracking. So my thought was for July, I really wanted to have kind of a bullet journal layout, which basically is going to mean that I don't have any layout, and I'll kind of show you what I mean. So when this planner started, obviously you have the days on the side that are numbered and you have the day. So when I started it for this year, you'll see I kind of did a tracker, and then I just kind of wrote down every day what happened. And then by like February-ish area, I was starting to get kind of creative, still doing the trackers, but I was able to like fit like 2 weeks. Like this is 2 weeks worth of trackers. I was doing pretty okay with like tracking things, even trying to do stuff like temperatures, things like that. And then we kind of get towards March and things start falling off a bit, because a lot of what I noticed was that I didn't have enough room. My workouts at that point were typically something like a cardio run, or I really wasn't doing any weightlifting. If I was, it was like a simple, like a workout plan where I could just write exactly what it was. I don't feel like that makes sense. Like I was maybe working from a workbook. So I would put like Body Boss Tone, week number 1, Monday. So I was able to like go back to that workout, and then in that workout book, I would have a Post-it that had like the date and whatever weights that I used. So it was kind of a little bit of everywhere, and that wasn't working. I was starting to put things like when I was taking sinus medication, if that was applicable, still bouncing around with like mood and energy. I was never really quite consistent. And then, like I said, April, the wheels just kind of fell off, and lots of things, like I wasn't filling out things. I had pretty spreads, but it just wasn't great. By May, I kind of had this epiphany where I was like, why don't you just kind of write it as you go? Like you set up a week and then you can just write in what you want to. What I didn't love about this is it was still leaving lots of blank space. And some weeks I wasn't doing anything at all, or I wasn't finishing them out. So for June, I don't know why I had this moment where I was like, oh, it used to be enough to just have this block, which isn't even accurate, because there's several spreads that you can see where like this is for that, or these go together. So this spread was all in June of 2023. I was starting to like trackers a little bit more, probably about middle of the year. This is from last year as well, like where I had those bigger breakout workouts. So I never, like there were just sometimes where this is enough space and sometimes where it wasn't, which was why it was great to have the notes page. So in June, I don't know why I had high hopes that if I set up the spreads like this, I would have enough space. Like this is actually all of 2023. This is not an available spread. Again, same thing. So June is really when I started to spill over. August, I was still doing it. So all of these spreads were almost like I skipped several pages before I was able to do a new week. And as you can see, I did not do a great job filling out June, which we can talk more about obviously in the June flip through video. So by July, I was like, new plan. New plan. What I really liked was these that's wrong. I do like the trackers, but I really want to put the trackers on a weekly layout, and I can talk about that at another point in time. Where is what I'm looking for? I think it's May. This. What I liked is kind of writing the week, putting the washi down that corresponds, and then doing it kind of like in a bullet journal style. The problem kind of came in where, like I said, some weeks I used it and some weeks I didn't. So I've gotten more consistent with the actual workouts themselves. So now I just need to track all of these things somewhere. Like I really want to track my intimacy. I really want to track my cycle. I really want to track my mood. Side note, I have been struggling with the mood thing lately because I literally feel like I'm in an odd phase where my mood can swing pretty drastically dependent on my setting, like stress-wise or mood. Like yesterday, or not yesterday, there was like a few days ago where I was like, nah, like I felt neutral. Like I was just fine. Like I wasn't upset. I wasn't happy. I was just like catatonic. I was like in the middle. So I don't know. I struggle with tracking mood, and I always kind of have. It's easier for me to track my energy level more than anything because I'm always very clear. Like I'm having a high, medium, or a low energy day. Like, so maybe that's like the starting point. But all this to say, my only setup part for July in my Hobonichi weeks is literally doing my label and putting it in. I use a We Are Memory Keepers label maker. You can pick them up on Amazon. Super simple to use. I had an old scrapbook paper in my stash that was like this cute denim material, which is what I've punched them all out of because I feel like it goes with his collar and gives it like a little pop of blue. I'll have to figure out what I'm going to use for next year, like if I want to keep using this label maker or if I want to get a different color of the Coffee Monster co-tabs, because I feel like at that point we'll be like in this back half. So we'll see how that shakes out when we get there. I might do like a darker color or maybe pink for his tongue. So we'll see. So by July, I'd figured out, like I really liked that layout where it was like, all right, put down a piece of washi that corresponds with the week, because I do like that, and that's where that came from, so that the washi would correspond with what's going on in my Hobonichi week, so I can kind of gauge. I do have date covers, so this is where it's problematic though. So I really wanted the bullet journal style, which I could do on this side. I don't know that I'm going to be able to do it over here. I mean, I could, but it might look a little funky where there's like these big lines. So what I might be able to do is, this is a great example. So for this week, I want to use for that first week of July, I'm going to use like these washies. So what I could do is technically like cover all of this and then just put in like Monday, whatever. Obviously I'm going to cover at the top too where it says October right now. This is usually when I'm in Orlando. So I don't typically track anything at that point in time. That's not to say that I wouldn't in the future, like cool steps or anything like that, like high steps days are gonna fall in there as well. But more or less, I think it's gonna have to be like a little bit of hybrid of like old and trying out the bullet journal method, which I don't really think is a bad idea, because I could keep going through here and then pop over here. I am gonna white out this little space because all I did was track intimacy at that point. And then that way I can make use of all of these spreads. And I think I'll be able to keep July all like in these spreads. So here, 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 and here. And I feel like this may not even get used. This is just kind of like extra space. And then I'll be able to start August on these pages and start going back to the bullet journal side of things, and we'll see how long it runs. So that is my plan for my weeks. I know that's kind of a little bit all over the place and a little hard to follow maybe, but I hope by giving you a couple examples of the spreads I've tried, I've shed some light on what I'm thinking of doing, and I look forward to flipping it at the end for sure. All right, so moving on. I always struggle with whether I want to show this or not, but this is my budget planner setup. So there's not a lot of frill or fuss. This is an old traveler's notebook cover and insert that were just in my stash. I didn't really, here, I'm gonna zoom out just a little bit because it almost is too much. There we go. It was almost too zoomed in there. So one spread that I really do like to have is my balance, carrier, minimum, and paid. I did opt to do side-by-side pages because sometimes I get to the bottom and I do like extra payments or other things come in. So I just wanted like one big space where I could just like keep going. And I think I'm gonna keep this double page thing going on, and I might like do a line at the end of the month. I'm not 100% certain. I think I talked about that the last video, so I don't have the system figured out down to a science yet. The next spread is where I set up my paychecks. I didn't finish. Wow. Okay. So we can just finish that in real time. How embarrassing. Okay. So I'm going to do rent, con service, which is like my utilities. Technically it's like a 2-in-1 pay, and then affirm. That's it. That's all that really goes on that check, I think. Yeah, because renter's insurance lands here. Okay, sorry about that. So typically everything that could like I literally put everything that might have a balance over here. And sometimes I just do a line through it. Like if it's paid off, then I'll just put a line through it because I didn't need to make a payment. I'll put an arrow if it's, like for example, say there was a $0 balance on the card, but I charged something after that, I might go ahead and put an arrow to like tip me off, like, hey, you're gonna have a payment the next billing cycle possibly, kind of thing. I hope that made sense. But yeah, everything gets listed under that one, and then just my rent and like any residual stuff kind of hang out on the last check. Then I've got my weeks set up. So my weeks are not every 7 days, they're every 8 days, so that I don't end up having a longer stretch at the last week, because sometimes obviously like there's not always 28 days. There's usually, 29, 30, 31, well, 30 or 31. So I figured out that if I just kind of tack one extra day onto each week, it doesn't make that last week really, really difficult. I've done good with the tracking. I've not done well with evaluating. So what that means is at the end of every week, I try to make to put a total. So whatever I totally spent, if that was in or outside of the budget, and what contributed to that. So if I'm over, I usually like to try to figure out, okay, what did you buy a lot of stuff because there was a Sabbath? Did you eat takeout too much? Did you buy a lot of new clothes? Did you go on a sticker bender? Like what happened? If you're under budget, great. What did you do? Did you cook more at home? Did you make use of freezer food? Just kind of giving myself like tips and tricks of how I made that happen. So I can be like, how was I like managing this? So it's really, really simple. I don't really do anything with the back anymore. I've kept anything from cash and coupons back here to credit cards. So for right now, again, I'm keeping it really simple. So no frill, no fuss, no stickers, no washi, until I really feel like I've got a handle on the system and I like it. And then I can start adding in the fun frilly things. And I've always kind of been that way. I think once I completely finish this insert, I'll get a little bit more creative with my next insert. I've also played around with the idea of moving more of my fitness and health and well-being into my Hobonichi Han cousin, however you want to, it's a Han and it is also a cousin, if that makes sense. And then moving my budget stuff over to my Hobonichi weeks so that I would like condense down a planner, because I really don't keep a ton in here. So we'll see how that evolves. But I did just kind of want to give you guys a peek of that just to show the setup for the month. It's typically I mean, it really hasn't changed since like the first video, if I'm being completely honest. Okay, so now we're gonna talk about my Hobonichi cousin, which is also a Han edition, which means it's the hardcover. And I think it's absolutely beautiful and I love it. Oh, okay, so this is the sticker book that I get my label from. You can pick them up on Amazon. I hate the fact that I can't use these because like I use them for scrapbooking, but I think they're so pretty. I would like to do, I think, yeah, because I broke into both sides of it, so it wasn't even like I could have ones with all the same font. So I have seriously considered getting another one, which is crazy, because I haven't used that much of this, like so that I could use all these different fonts. I also really love this like typewriter font, so I wish that that was like available. But there's tons of labels in here, so I feel really awful about just abandoning it and buying a new one. So I think I'm just going to continue with how I've got it now, since I've got tons of month labels, and I'll just keep doing where I fill it in. And I might just like do it like maybe in rainbow order or something like that next year to use up some of the blank labels. We'll see. But Carpe Diem sticker tablet, 552 stickers. You can grab it on Amazon. I don't think that's the price. That was just the price that I bought it at like a scrapbook show, I think. Actually, I know I did. So let's start with the yearly. So previously I have used this tracker page as a tracker page, and I do need to zoom out just a little bit more so that we're not completely to the edges. But moving into the second half of the year, I really want, this goes back to what I was saying about moving some of my stuff over. I really think that this can be a great place for me to track my steps. So I'm gonna do under 10K, 10K and up, and 12K and up. If I surpass that, or I know I'm going to, like in October, I'll probably put another one in there for like 15 plus or even more than that. But I think I'm gonna follow, this system comes from Helen and Lindsay Scribbles, I believe. So I'll put my dot where the day of the week is, and then I will figure out a way to like abbreviate. So right now the workouts that I'm doing are my full hourglass routine and my abs only hourglass routine. So the goal is that you do the full like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and that you do abs only Tuesday, Thursday. And then on the weekends you do like cardio kind of thing, or like a walk or a hike or a swim or whatever. The thing about that is that I might want to add some things like swimming. So right now I've also got the 12-3-30 routine that I've been doing. A flat out run would be nice, and the elliptical. So these are all workouts that I currently do. I wanted to just kind of list them all here, or leave room to list them. And then at some point, maybe I can just do one big master key for everything, because I think both the ladies have like a master key and they don't put anything else up here. They use this space down here to do like more like averages or anything like that. And I really just want to leave these spaces blank for now until I decide if this is a good place to put this, because if it is, then it will kind of eliminate the need to have it in the weeks. And I can also track my cycle and my intimacy here in corresponding dots. So I think that that would be really great to try. I also drew a line kind of off to the side Again, I structured this off of Helen and Lindsay scribbles, so I'm not really sure why they put the line right there or what the method to that madness was, but you use the other part to kind of like list events. So right now I've got my friend Ben's wedding, our beach trip, and the day that Q3 subscriptions are going to be charged and renewed. So that is my now new yearly setup. I think also I want to leave room to plug in weights. Like, I just kind of want to see what this might look like and some examples. I don't know that I will ever like always have a cookie cutter approach to it. Like, maybe if I have a blank workout spot, it's a good time to like do a weight check-in, or it might be good to do it on this side. I may end up taking out those things. And I think it's also great to like, say something big happens, like that Jeff and I go on a date, I can always put, or like if Jeff has an event, I can put it there. Or if something big happens with someone, like good or bad, like if Binks gets sick, or I don't know. Like I might pick something from the garden, or something might grow, just like little notes. I used to do that with the monthly spreads, where I would kind of like write a highlight down every single day and pop a sticker in there. And you can look back at some older videos and see that, but I just kind of want to see what evolves with this. But my goal is that a lot of health and fitness things are going to land here, so I really don't even know how long the personal things are going to stay. Moving over to the monthly spread, I use my Tombow 553 to do my header bars. I used 0 to 0 for my YouTube icons. And then if I do any additional posting like Facebook, Instagram, anything like that, I'll use 312 to kind of put like a dot and mark that and write what it was. I use this spread for my cleaning list and for social media tracking. So that is why the spread is pretty bare. I write in the videos as I complete them. I've made the mistake. I used to in the past write down what I was going to post, but then things would change and move too much, and I would have to draw like an arrow to the new location or white out, and it was just super messy. So I like to keep it this way so I know what I posted when, and that video is taken care of. Otherwise, I just check my cleaning list off as I go. Moving into the weekly spreads, and I've said this before in other videos, I don't do a lot of prep work because I fill in during the month. So I don't want everything done. I like outlines to color in, if that makes any sense at all. So you're probably wondering why this page is blank if I've told you that there's a July setup. So lately I have really been enjoying going into my stash and finding sticker books and using them. Even if they are not Coffee Monster Co., I like combining them with my Coffee Monster Co. product because I have so many sticker books. So what I've also been enjoying is, in some cases with the much older books, I've been using them for a week, and then kind of whatever's left at the end of that week, I go through and I keep what I think I'm going to be able to use for future spreads or scrapbook layouts or what have you. And then for the whatever is the remainder, I actually put into a box to ship off to somebody, to maybe like a younger kid who, you know, doesn't have the sticker stash that I do, or maybe they just, stickers can be expensive. So it's just to give to somebody. And I really like that. So it's like a Happy Meal box for somebody else that I'm building out of things. So, and kids are really great, recipients for this because they're not so finicky about brands or anything like that, or the fact that it's a new or an old sticker design, or it may look a little bit more like from the beginning. So by that I mean like my older sticker books that are maybe like early Happy Planner days when they were like that thick cardstocky kind of style. Like a kid may love those in their books more than anything. So I just feel like that's worked out really well for me, and I kind of go through my old washi and throw some washi in there that I'm not using or have never touched. Sometimes I do like a little sample roll, and then off to the races it goes. So these I will not be breaking down at the end because they're still fairly new and I love both of them and they stay in my stash, but I'm just not utilizing them like I should. But I have used this sticker book in the past. So this is the Marabou design by Mandy Brown from Happy Planner, and this is the mini version. And I absolutely love this. Like, honestly, I'd probably rip out this whole page and give it to somebody. Like, that's not happening. That's not a me thing. But what I love is like here, like I've used it as a 4th of July spread before and I got inspiration from these swatches. Unfortunately, I can't, like, this is built for a mini planner, obviously. It says so on the front. But I can take that color inspiration and pull washi, so that's what I did. And like I said, this is also 4th of July week, and I've used it for that in the past. So I thought this would be like a really good washi set to use. So I pulled those out of my stash, and my goal is to just use this sticker book as much as I can through this particular week. And I think there's a lot of really great summer vibes here. I like the Today stickers. I really like the color palette here, and I think that it would go really, really nice. So that is my goal, to use this sticker book that particular week. And then the next week, I'm gonna use this sticker book. So this is from Paige Evans. As you can see, it's got kind of like a weird label. This is from Tuesday Morning. There's not many of them left around, but once upon a time, they had an absolutely incredible craft section where you could get lots of American craft stuff for very cheap and stuff that never even went to market. So what I wanna do is I wanna use this sticker book, and the reason being that I noticed recently that there's like a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And I thought those would be really, really great in my Hobonichi weeks. Also, it's got like summer fun. I love how it's got like other months or other things like winter clothes, time for a change, food to try, this year, budget, spring cleaning, movies to watch. Like, there's so many really great headings that I love. So I think this will be really great. Vacation plans, because I will be working on trying to probably get the last couple things ready for the trip. Shopping list would be great. Fun times, 5-year plan. That sounds terrifying. There's budget, I think, in a lot of these. Goals, packing list, boss babe, meeting notes, girls night out, because I might go out on a Thursday night with the ladies. Road trip, not going to happen, in progress, pack it up, meal planning, all kinds of things. I really like these headers, but I also love the color palette. So what my goal is to use that color for that day. So I just need to go through and see if I have like corresponding. I think I do. I think I have corresponding colors. I might even have mild liners that match. I haven't used my mild liners in a minute, but it was all kind of based off this color palette, and I'm just going to use this sticker book for this week. So I definitely encourage you to try that as a goal. Grab a couple sticker books. I used to do that where it was like each week was a different sticker book, like back in the day. So this next week, we're getting back to our roots with some Coffee Monster Co-Love. So I'm using this super cute nautical washi. I don't remember the exact name of it, but it is from the Q2 washi, or Q2 subscription, and I love it. I have been hoarding it for this very particular week because this is the week that I'm last minute, like this is the last week to get ready to go to the beach. I really debacled whether to use it, but honestly, I had to use the beach one for the week of the beach. So we're actually leaving like in here. I think we're leaving Thursday. Are we leaving Thursday? I think we're leaving Thursday. I'm pretty sure we're leaving Thursday. But this was the most appropriate to use. And then we're still going to be there, I think, Monday, but I think we're driving back Tuesday. So I really didn't want another beach washi. However, Harry Potter's birthday is this particular week. So I thought it'd be really cute to finally use my Every Minute a Story Harry Potter washi. So I thought that'd be a really nice change of pace. I'm also going to use the like newspaper washi to use during my Paige Evans week. I thought that would be really nice to add something neutral, and I don't have a washi to accompany that. Who knows, I may not do washi those 2 weeks. Stranger things have happened. But that does it for my setup. So again, my weekly setups and my cousin setups are really quite simple. I do a lot of filling in during that time. I plan film with me as I do the vlogs. I do all that jazz during the actual week of. So not a lot of prep work gets done. Lots of supplies get picked out. But I hope, regardless, this video was informative and inspirational and gave you some ideas and encouraged you to go into your stash and kind of reacquaint yourself with your supplies that you already have. I know it's very easy to get excited about all the new product, and believe me, I'm still very excited about a lot of things to come and releases from Coffee Monster Co. I always am, and Q3 subscription sneaks are around the corner. Pre-order just happened, so there's a ton of fun stuff happening and new product coming all the time, but don't forget about what you do have. So let me know if you guys try that theory or you end up having these sticker books and you want to follow along for the week. I would love to have the company. So thank you guys so much for watching, and until the next video, enjoy creating your own little wonderlands. Bye everybody.